Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been following me already, I am Lucy. I'm a running coach and a nutritionist, and this year I'm documenting my journey to my first ultramarathon in July. Now today's video, if you stick around to the end, hopefully is documenting me running the Chester Half Marathon. An update on that, this last week I've been taken out by a back injury. And it's always one of those frustrating things that happens when you least expect it. And it was in the gym. I was doing a barbell reverse lunge and I just extended my leg back a little bit further than it should have gone. And as I stood up, I think it's just pulled, it's loaded that QL muscle on the right hand side of my lower back. And I felt it go. It was painful. Therefore, I've been out. I've been out for the last 7 days. Today, I'm going to get my first session done. I haven't done anything since then other than stretch and mobility. I tell a lie, actually. I did do a little tester run last Friday to see how I was feeling. The reason being is because on Sunday, I was meant to do a 10K. It was a local 10K. It wasn't anything that I was massively looking forward to being honest. It was a local race and I thought, why not? So we signed up to do that. But unfortunately, last minute I had to pull out because the run that I did on Friday was just too painful. So it became a decision of, do you run through pain, which in my eyes would be a bit silly, especially with the race not being an extremely important one for me this year? Or do I pull out of that race and rest up, do some recovery work, and then that would mean that I am hopefully ready to go for this weekend, which is the Chester Half Marathon, which actually is one that I really, really want to do this year. So I ran Chester Half Marathon last year. The route was incredible. It was like one of those runs where it just felt so good. Like the route was really good. So many supporters came out. It was a warm day. People were spraying like hose pipes at us because I think it was like low 20 degrees. And you run through all of the lanes of Chester. So it was just an incredible race. And as soon as I finished it last year, I literally booked on to this year. And I'm doing it with my partner as well. So it was one that I really wanted to do. So I made the decision to rest, recover, to hopefully be well enough to run this weekend, which, all being well, I think I will. Pain is significantly reduced. I still do feel it. It's still very tight, especially when I wake up in the morning or in the night. Like if I try and turn over, that's the time that I can feel it the most. And it's just because I'm static and I'm lying down. But once I sort of get up and get moving again in the day, it feels much better. So I'm going to jump on the bike this morning for a little bit of a sharpener session. I'm not going to gain any fitness this week to get through the half this weekend, but it's just about sharpening the tools a little bit and making sure that we are good to go on Sunday. Okay, yesterday was Wednesday, today is Thursday. Didn't film very much yesterday. It was a bit of a busy day in the office. And then last night, kids had football. And then it was a week of solo parenting, 2 nights. So got the kids to bed. And I also had an early night last night, trying to recover well this week in the lead up to Chester. So off the back of yesterday, the back actually felt a little bit tight last night, but I did do some stretches, child's pose and different things that my chiropractor gave me. But I did wake up this morning and it felt a little bit tighter, which I think is just to be expected. Like I said, pain-free, but there is still a bit of tightness through that back. So I think it's just something to just accept and move through this week. If it was painful, then we might need to review it a little bit more, but it isn't, so we're just going to keep moving. So we're back on the bike for another session today. Let's see if I can move this camera. Can I move this camera? Let's have a look. And we spoke to my coach yesterday and we dropped the faster, shorter run for this week. So I did a bit of intervals on the bike yesterday. That felt really good. Today is just a really easy 40-minute keep heart rate in sort of the, I don't know, zone 3 for about 40 minutes, and then 5-minute cool down, so 50 minutes in total. Tempo sharpener into the weekend, but feel good. Going to start the carb loads tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting. I will document that, how we're going to do it, and then it's to Chester on Saturday, and then Sunday is the race. So all going to plan so far this week. Okay, it is actually Thursday evening at 9:20, and I've just sat down because it has been a day, and I think this is just a true reflection of what it's like being a parent, what it's like being a business owner, what it's like just trying to juggle just everyday life. I think it's just going to be a normal day, and it isn't. So I had a phone call at lunchtime to say that Lola had got a suspected broken finger. Can I go and pick her up? So anyway, cut a long story short, picked her up, took her to the local hospital, got an x-ray. Luckily it's only a sprain, but that put me out for the rest of the afternoon, early evening, to then come back to just doing the whole rigmarole of parenting anyway, baths, getting school stuff ready. She's in a lot of pain. So now I'm sat at the laptop, one, doing the grocery shopping that's coming tomorrow, and two, trying to catch up on some work that I didn't get done this afternoon. So the lucky thing is that I can do that this evening. But obviously, you know, it's not ideal. You want to sit down and relax. I've got this dog absolutely going nuts out there, wanting to come in. Yes, I will let you in a minute. And that is just the absolute reality of life. That's it. I'll check in tomorrow. Okay, today is Friday the 15th of May, and today is the day that I'm going to start carb loading for Sunday's half marathon race. Now I'm going to take you through a full day of eating and explain a little bit about why I'm eating the foods that I'm eating, drinking the liquids that I'm drinking, and essentially just give you a little bit of an insight into how I carb load. I'm just going to drop the kids off at school. Lola is fine today, and then we will have our first meal of the day. Okay, so I'm going to do things actually a little bit backward, just time restraint and the way that my day is set out, but I'm going to start with 1 Squares caramel and chocolate bar. Now this is, I think, 28 grams of carbs. It's 28 grams of carbs. Really fast, easy way to get nearly 30 grams of carbs in. These are delicious. I have always got packs in the house because they are my go-to to just quickly eat something. So I'm going to walk the dog, have one of these, walk the dog, come back. Then I need to get my trainers on and do my shakeout run, which is only going to be about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of just very easy pace, and then I'm going to come back and have my breakfast. Got back from walking the dog, and I'm going to put my trainers on and get out and do my shakeout run. Now, for context, because of my back injury last week, I haven't done any, couldn't find my trainers. I haven't done any running since last Friday, so that's a week ago now, and that was me testing the waters to see whether my back was going to hold out for the 10k that I was supposed to do last week. It turns out it wasn't, because I was in a lot of pain, so I did not continue with that run. But I need to get this shakeout run done today, so I'm going to put my trainers on, just do a very easy pace, and then tomorrow I can rest the legs. We're going to travel to Chester tomorrow evening, ready to get up Sunday morning and do it. So I'm looking forward to it now, to be honest. I think I feel so much better with my back that I'm just grateful that I can get out and do it this weekend. Especially, like, if you're a runner, you'll know. If you run, you want to run as much as you possibly can. That's not to say you want to go out and do absolutely hours of it every single day, like some people might do, but I don't. But I want to do the things that I said that I was going to do. So obviously last week was a little bit of a bummer that I didn't get to do the race that I'd signed up for. But it was a sensible choice. And looking at it from a wider perspective, like, it's not a big deal. Obviously, I'd be even more gutted if I couldn't do this weekend. I'd be even more gutted if I couldn't do my ultra. So again, putting things into perspective sometimes really helps your mindset. I'm going to get out now, enjoy that run. Right, I've just got back from that shakeout run, and that felt really good, actually. I was a bit tight through the back. Felt a bit rigid initially, but it's done. It was 20 to 30 minutes. I did 23 minutes, and every 3 minutes try and just do about 15-minute short little sharp sprint. And that definitely got the legs and the lungs warmed up. Now I'm going to go into my first meal of the day, which is going to be a bagel. Now I like to eat bagels when I carb load because they're chewy and they're delicious. Now these are actually Marks and Spencer's, which are made with sourdough. Now I like Marks and Spencer's and I like sourdough, but I'm going to be controversial here and say these are not my favourite bagels. I think my favourite bagels are probably the Warburton ones or the New York bagel ones. I just don't know what it is about this. It's just, I don't know, a bit too chewy, I think. Can you be too chewy with a bagel? Who knows? I'm going to have that now with some black cherry jam. And I think I've already put this into MyFitnessPal, and it's coming up with about 70 grams, I'll check that in a minute, of carbohydrates. And I've already had 28 with my Rice Krispie Squares bar. So let me just check those numbers. Hello, baby. 101 grams of carbohydrates after this meal. So my numbers today, I'm going to be trying to hit between 5 grams to 7 grams per kilogram of body weight. So I'm going to be trying to aim for about 360 to 507 grams of carbohydrates today. Now, whether I reach those targets or not, I'm obviously going to be aiming for it and just basing most of my meals around the carbohydrates now, which is totally the opposite of what I normally do. Obviously, just day-to-day general living, I am trying to prioritize protein and fiber and vegetables and fruit and all of the healthy things, whereas today it is literally carbs, low fiber, low fat, little bit of protein in there. I will eat vegetables today, but it's going to be lower than what it normally is, and just prioritizing trying to get the carbs in. I have to have a little bit of butter on my bagels, just otherwise I just find it too dry, even with the jam. Get this down me now. and I'm going to jump in the shower. Now, this is an interesting one. So I'm making myself a coffee, probably going to have a Monster at some point today as well for more caffeine, because this I don't think is widely, publicised isn't the word, this isn't widely in the public domain. I don't see it on social media a lot, but there is some evidence to suggest that when caffeine is consumed alongside carbohydrates, especially after exercise, it may then increase the rate of glycogen replenishment by improving glucose uptake into the muscle, essentially, and into the liver. So if you're going to carb load, you might as well have a little bit more caffeine on board today as well. Not a lot, just maybe one more cup compared to what I would normally have. So I'll have a Monster, I'll have a coffee, and then this afternoon I might have a cup of tea. I'm really loving the Yorkshire tea biscuit brew at the moment. So that's going to go down well this afternoon. But yeah, I don't see this information a lot on the internet or elsewhere, but there is some evidence to suggest. So if there's evidence there, we might as well give it a good go. What's one extra cup of caffeine? So lunch today, I'm actually nearly eating it, to be fair, and I forgot to record. I'm eating chicken wraps, so I've had 2 tortillas. I've only got a little bit of chicken and peppers and onion left from yesterday, because I had this yesterday. So it's not ideal, because I would have liked to have eaten a little bit more of them, but I've had 2 of them. I think it's about 45 grams of carbs, so that'll be fine. A little bit of protein, obviously, and I'm sat here eating this now whilst watching the Red On Backyard Ultra, sorry. They are in Cheltenham Racecourse. My coach Jack is running this today. This is a live stream on YouTube, and I know a couple of other athletes that are doing it as well, so it's always good to watch. Second person's in every hour on the hour, 4.167 miles or something. Yeah, anyway, getting some more carbs now. Me just made my afternoon brew. Now my coach, who's been training for these ridiculous backyard ultras, has been banging on about these, and I've seen on his YouTube and on his Instagram talking about when he's carb loading with these Stroop waffles. Now, I'd never heard of them until he mentioned them. I thought, what on earth is this? And I saw them in a supermarket the other day, and I thought, oh, I'll grab a pack. Oh my God. If you haven't had one of these, they are absolutely insane. An authentic Dutch Stroop waffle, a thin baked waffle filled with gooey goodness. My God, they are actually incredible. So they're like almost like a bit of a biscuit. I mean, Lola's eating a lot of them. There's 2 left, so I'm going to have one with my cup of tea now. But I mean, if you're going to carb load, do it right. Do it right. Okay, I failed a little bit with my carb load yesterday. I forgot to show you last night's evening meal, so I will post a picture here, but it was effectively pasta. Finished off with some sweets in the evening. Today's eating has been pretty normal, so I've woken up and had sourdough bread with eggs, a little bit of avocado, and then for lunch I've had another piece of sourdough with some tuna. So yeah, pretty normal day of eating. I'm just packing my race bag now. We're going to head up to Chester in about an hour, so I'll show you what we are taking. Not sure whether I'm going to run in comfy Asics or Adi Pros. They're obviously lighter and faster, but these are obviously more comfortable. With the back injury, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be sending it or not. I've got my race number here, pyjamas, my race outfit. So I've got Adidas shorts and Adidas t-shirt. I'm probably going to take a waterproof as well. Not sure what the weather is going to be like. I am going to be taking some sunglasses, and I'm going to be taking my vest just because I want to put some tailwind in the Solomon. And then I'm going to be taking these are Karen's, 3 gels. So I'll probably be taking one at mile 4, mile 8 and mile 12. And I've also got obviously some carbohydrates in that tailwind, as well as some electrolytes. So fueling is all sorted for tomorrow. And I think pretty much that is it. I'm going to take my Kindle for tonight so I can relax in a hotel in Chester with no children. Not that I'm looking forward to that much, obviously. So yeah, we're nearly there now. Okay, I have got to admit I've been a bit rubbish on this vlog this week. Lots and lots of stuff going on, and I think when life throws you curveballs and you're trying to bat them off all week, this just started to fall off a little bit. So apologies for that, I will be better. But it is the day after the Chester Half Marathon. It was an incredible race. It's very, very well organised every single year. And I know that people come back each and every year just to do it because it's such a good race in terms of the route, but it's also like very well supported and very well organised, like I said. So brilliant day yesterday, weather held out for it. Got up, had some breakfast. We had pancakes with maple syrup, some orange juice as well, and a couple of coffees. Got ready, got changed, and headed over to Chester Racecourse, which is where we started the race. And I think we started just after 9 o'clock. Yeah, really, really cool. Really good to be able to run with Karen as well, who absolutely smashed it. I said to her afterwards, you ran really, really well, considering it was your first half marathon. So massive well done to her, and I was so pleased that we could run it together. And yeah, when we finished the race, it was still really, really good weather. We headed back to our hotel, picked up our bags and drove home, and my nan cooked us a roast dinner, which was very much well needed. Body feels good today. A little bit sore, just because I think you feel it when you run anyway. My toenails, I think I need to get better at like strapping my toes or something like that, taping my toes, because my toenails are the sorest part of me. They're definitely coming off again this year. I mean, as runners, how do we prevent that? I've lost my toenails now countless amount of times throughout the years, and it doesn't get any better. But I'm about to take the kids to school, and then I've got to drive to Liverpool. That is another story to come. But here's my medal. Thank you for tuning in this week in the run-up to Chester Half. It has been another great off marathon to run, and I'm already going to be signing up to next year. Subscribe, like, share the video if you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.